As a Japanese housewife living in the US, I want to look at the counterfacts of socialization from unique perspectives.
Imagine a line drawn on a map, a scar on the earth designed to divide people, bristling with fences, landmines, and soldiers. For over 70 years, this place has been synonymous with tension, a symbol of a war that never truly ended. But in this landscape of conflict, something incredible and unintended happened. Nature, left to its own devices, began to heal. This is the story of the Korean demilitarized zone, the D, a place built to keep humans out that accidentally became one of the world's most pristine and unique wildlife sanctuaries. When the Korean War ended in an armistice in 1953, a buffer zone was created, stretching 250 kilometers across the peninsula and measuring about 4 kilometers wide. Both sides pulled their forces back, creating a no. Humans were forbidden. The villages, the farms, the rice paddies that once dotted this landscape were abandoned. And in the silence that followed the guns, a different kind of life began to stir. For decades, this strip of land remained virtually untouched by human development, while South Korea underwent a miraculous economic boom, building skyscrapers and sprawling cities, and North Korea pursued its own path of industrialization. The DMZ was a time capsule. The forests that had been cleared for farming began to regrow. The wetlands that were drained for rice paddies flooded once more, returning to their natural state. It became a green ribbon of life, cutting across a heavily developed peninsula. What scientists and conservationists discovered inside was breadth. The DMZ and its surrounding areas became a haven for species that were disappearing elsewhere in Korea. We're talking about creatures straight out of folklore and legend. The majestic red-crowned crane, a symbol of longevity and good fortune, found a safe wintering ground in the DMZ's wetlands. These birds are endangered, with only a few thousand left in the world, and a significant portion of them now rely on this accidental sanctuary. And it's not just the cranes. The elusive Amur gorel, a type of wild goat with incredible agility, thrives on the rocky, mountainous terrain within the zone. There are sightings of Asiatic black bears, musk deer, and even wild boar roaming freely. These are animals that have been pushed to the brink by habitat loss and hunting across the rest of the Korean peninsula. In the DMZ, they found a refuge where their biggest threat, humans, was absent. Perhaps the most exciting possibility is the presence of the critically endangered Amur leopard and Siberian tiger. While confirmed sightings within the DMZ itself are rare and often debated, the habitat is perfect for them. Camera traps have captured them in nearby regions in Russia and China, and conservationists hold out hope that these magnificent big cats might be using the DMZ as a travel corridor or even as a breeding ground. The idea that one of the planet's rarest felines could be living in the world's most heavily fortified border is just mind-blowing. The plant life is just as spectacular. Over 2,000 plant species have been identified within this narrow strip of land, some of which are found nowhere else on Earth. The ecosystem is incredibly diverse, ranging from dense forests and lush marshes to wide-open grasslands and winding rivers. It's a living laboratory, showing us what the Korean peninsula looked like centuries ago, before intensive agriculture and urbanization changed the landscape forever. This incredible story of ecological rebirth wasn't planned. It was a byproduct of conflict. The very things that make the DMZ so dangerous for humans, the millions of landmines, the constant military presence, the lack of infrastructure are what have protected its wildlife. The mines deter poachers, and the absence of roads and buildings means habitats remain intact and undisturbed. It's a powerful and ironic twist. A symbol of human division became a symbol of nature's resilience. But now, the future of this accidental paradise is uncertain. As political tensions on the Korean peninsula ebb and flow, so do discussions about the DMZ's fate. Some envision a future where the border is gone and the land is developed for economic purposes, building industrial parks, or turning it back into farmland. These ideas represent hope for peace and reunification. But they also pose a massive threat to the unique ecosystem that has flourished there. This has sparked a new conversation, one that tries to balance the hopes for peace with the need for preservation. Conservationists and scientists from South Korea and around the world are campaigning to have the DMZ designated as a protected area, perhaps a UNESCO biosphere reserve or a peace park. The idea is to transform this relic of the Cold War into a lasting symbol of peace and ecological cooperation. Imagine a place where North and South Koreans could work together, not as soldiers, but as scientists and park rangers, studying and protecting their shared natural heritage. Think about it. A park that straddles the border where ecotourists could one day walk unsafe, to mined pathways, observing rare cranes, and learning about the peninsula's history. It would be a powerful testament to the idea that even from the deepest wounds of conflict, something beautiful and life-affirming can grow. It would be a place that honors the past while building a sustainable future. The Korean DMZ teaches us a profound lesson. It shows us that when we step back, when we give nature just a little bit of space, it can and will recover in ways we can barely imagine. Its resilience is astounding. The story of the DMZ isn't just about Korea. It's a global story about the relationship between humanity and the natural world. It forces us to ask tough questions about our priorities. What is the true cost of development? And how can we find ways to coexist with nature rather than constantly pushing it to the margins? The fate of this incredible wildlife sanctuary hangs in the balance, tied to the complex political future of the Korean peninsula. But one thing is for sure, the green, vibrant, and wild heart of the DMZ will stand as a powerful reminder that life finds a way, even in the most unlikely of places. It's a message of hope, a green beacon shining from one of the darkest front lines on Earth. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content about the amazing and unexpected corners of our world. Let me know in the comments what you think about the future of the DMZ. See you in the next video.